Megan Harn. I'm a real estate broker in Washington State, and I also own Summit Staging Company. So today I am super excited because I'm going to refinish this dining room table, which I got from a friend, so that's pretty cool. And it's solid wood, so it weighs like 5 billion pounds. But it's a nice sturdy table, so I know it'll turn out great. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is just clean it off with a simple soap and water solution just to get all the dust and other gunk off. Alright, so the second step is to sand the whole tabletop. I'm starting with an 80 grit and then I'll move to a finer grit after that. This table is awesome because it is already sanded, which is the hardest part. It takes the longest, so I'm really excited because I just need a couple light sandings and then it'll be good to go for stain. Alright, so I just finished sanding the entire top of this table. It's nice and smooth. The next step is to sand the legs of the table to get all the chipping paint off. I'm going to paint it over in a chalk paint, so it's okay to leave the paint on, but since it's chipping, I want to make sure that I get all those pieces off first. So I'm going to go ahead and sand that. Alright, so I have finished sanding the legs, and the next step is to paint it. So I have this chalk paint. It's Annie-Sloan chalk paint, and I got the French linen color, which is a really pretty light gray color that I'm excited to use. So I'm just going to paint that all over the legs, let it dry, probably do a second coat as well, and then put some wax over it. Alright, so I just finished painting all of the legs of the table. It took 3 coats total to get everything covered and looking nice. So while I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm going to move on to pre-stain. It's a wood conditioner to prepare the table for the actual stain. So I'm just going to put that on, let it sit for a bit, and then wipe it up with an old cut-up t-shirt. Okay, so the paint is completely dry and it's ready for wax now. So the wax I have is Annie-Sloan chalk paint wax. What it does is it just helps to seal and protect the paint once you put it on there. And I use these shop towels because they don't leave any lint or fuzzies behind or anything like that. So you just rub it all on and then take a new piece and wipe off all the excess, and that's it. So on to the last step. I just gave this a light sanding to make it nice and smooth before I put the stain on, and this is stain and polyurethane, so it's a 2-in-1, which is nice. And let's get started. Okay, so I finished staining the table and it was an absolute failure. I ended up using a stain that had polyurethane mixed in with it, so it ended up being really sticky to apply when I put it on, and you can see all of the brush marks, and it's just a mess. So I am going to resand everything and start over. So the nice thing about wood is that if you do mess up, you can always sand it down and start over. So that's what I'm gonna do, and let's get started again. So surprisingly enough, the stain is actually coming off really easily. This is just a few times that I've ran it over and it's already almost all the way done. So just gotta finish the rest of the table and then I'll be back to staining in no time. Alrighty, so I just finished sanding the whole table for the second time and it is now ready for stain. So this time I am going to stain it with special walnut stain, and this one does not have a polyurethane in it, so I'm gonna wipe it on with this foam brush and then wipe the excess off with an old cut up t-shirt. Alright, so the stain is completely dry. I let it sit overnight and now I'm ready for the polyurethane. So I got clear satin finish, so it's not too shiny or too dull. What it does is it's just a protective layer for the top and helps seal everything in. So I'm just going to rub that all over the top and then that's the final step and I'll be all done. So I was finished at the table, I was putting everything away, and I was trying to put this chair away that I used to sit while I was sanding, and it's full of dust in the bottom. So I lifted it up, decided to walk right in front of the table, and this happened. The polyurethane is still wet, and so all of the dust has stuck to the table. This table is going to be the death of me, I swear. Alright, and there you have it. The table is all complete. It was a process to get there, but it turned out nice in the end.